something! Do something! Do it now! You got to do something! They're going to crucify him! I tried to give the money back, and they won't take it. I'm telling you, you got to do something, and do it now! 3 years ago, a day much like today, bright sunshine, blue skies, warm temperatures. During the day, we took the outer cloak off. At night, we pulled it close. A wonderful time of the year. 3 years ago, he was making his presence known, okay? Jesus. He called Peter and Peter's brother Andrew, the sons of thunder, James and John. Well, he created quite a stir when he called Matthew or Levi the tax collector, who had a less than reputable clientele, if you will. But some said he was the Messiah, the long-awaited one. There was hope in the air. Change. Almost like romance, if you will. I too was enthralled. Gentle breezes, the ripples of the sea. And this one who spoke with authority. When he spoke, you thought you were listening to God. And lives were being changed. I'm Judas Iscariot. Judas means Jehovah leads. My parents had high hopes for me. Maybe you know my father, Simon Iscariot. Iscariot means man of Kerioth. Kerioth, a farm village 23 miles south of here. But Kerioth also means the keeper of the bag. The scortia, the keeper of the bag. 3 years ago, I was working for Fetch a Catch, a fishing business. Our office was just a tiny shack located off the dock, sort of catty-cornered. Oh, we could see the boats going and coming. We could see the city streets, always filled with people, commotion. To be honest with you, I hated the fishing business. The stench of fish, sweat of sailors, the fury of fishermen. But there's one thing I'm good at. I'm a businessman. I'm good with figures, calculations. And for the first time in a long time, Fetch a Catch was running in the black. Oh, we were getting ready to go public on the Galilean Stock Exchange, and much of it attributed to me. And my scrutiny and my calculations, if you know what I mean. I remember that day. Oh, I was sitting at my desk doing my job, and there was a commotion in the streets. Not unusual, but then some broke away. Peter? Andrew? The sons of thunder, James and John? And then he walked right in. This man they called Jesus walked right in, came to my desk, called my name, Judas Iscariot. I have a job for you. It's yours for the taking. And just like that, I went from working in that office to being a fisher of men. I know what you're thinking. Why would he choose a louse like me? I've wondered that hundreds of times. He had to know. He had to know. Why would he choose a louse like me? I like to think he saw just a little bit of good, maybe a little bit of potential. And why did I follow him? Why did I get up from that desk that day and follow him? Because he loved the children. He loved all the children. And he loved the outcast, the down and outers, the poor. He had time for them, and he healed broken hearts and broken bones. And he did speak with authority. When you heard him speak, you thought God was talking to you. I could not help but follow him. It was good for a while. Oh, the first year or two, it was great. I was the treasurer, keeper of the bag. Oh, that traveling band didn't have much money, but I stretched it as far as it would go. And we developed a chain of command. There was Peter and John and me, Judas. And we were out to change the world. We had the leader in Jesus, we had the team in the 12, and we were going to change the world. So what happened? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. Greed. I remember the first day I put my hand in the till. Took some money for me. Nobody would know. I was going to put it back. I fully intended to put it back. Nobody would ever know. But it became easier and easier to take money out of the till for me. Oh, and there was that day we were at the home in Bethany of Lazarus and Mary and Martha. You know, Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead, and a lot of people followed Jesus because of that. And Martha was always cooking up a good meal. And Mary, she worshiped Jesus. And in some creative ways, if you will. Well, on this particular day, she brought in a bottle of perfume. Expensive perfume. It would have cost a year's worth of wages, 300 denarii. And she broke it open, and she poured the perfume on his feet. And get this, she wiped his feet with her hair. Ridiculous! I ran in and I raved and I screamed and I said, why did you do that? We could have sold that perfume and taken the money and given it to the poor or fed the poor. I ran in and I raved and I screamed. And Jesus knew, and I knew. I wanted that money right here. I wanted that money for Judas. What happened to me? Pure old greed. I'll tell you something else that happened to me. Disappointment in Jesus. Oh, the first year or two were good. But come on. If you are the Messiah, set up your kingdom. I wanted Jesus to act. I wanted Jesus to do something. And I wanted to share in his riches and his glory. But Jesus You're always patient and kind and good and gentle. Come on, Jesus, do something. Greed, disappointment, and anger. Anger. Jesus started saying things that ticked me off. He said one day, have I not chosen 12 and one of you is a devil? He said that. Have I not chosen 12 and one of you is a devil? I was one of the 12. I was in the inner circle. I was keeper of the bag. Everybody trusted me. And Jesus was implying that I was the devil. And then there was that night in the upper room, the Last Supper. We were reclining at table like we always did. And Jesus said, one of you will betray me. Oh, I wish you could have heard the other 11. Is it I? Is it I? Oh, it's not me, is it? Made me want to throw up. Jesus said it had been better for that man had he not been born. And then get this. He took a piece of bread called a sop, and he dipped it in wine, and he handed it to me, and he said, whatever you do, do quickly. That made me mad. That made me mad. So greed and disappointment and anger, I became a breeding ground for Satan. Satan entered my heart. Don't laugh. Some of you are on my level. Some of you are in my league. Satan wants to take you and take me and drag us to hell. So I decided to develop a plan. I withdrew by myself. What's the goal? To get rid of Jesus the Christ. Who wants him gone more than me? The religious establishment. What would they pay me? This could mean riches. Riches. Where would it happen? It had to be a secluded place off the beaten path. I knew just the place. We needed a sign. You always need a sign. A kiss. A kiss. That would be the sign. So I had my plan, and I went to the religious leaders, and I said, have I got a proposition for you? Have I got a deal for you? I wish you could have seen their eyes light up. One of them recognized me as one of Jesus' followers. Their eyes were filled with delight. I said, what will you give me? 30 pieces of silver. Not enough. That's slave money, but it was the beginning. It was the beginning. Let me tell you, it was the beginning. Where? Across the Kidron in the garden. Jesus took us there many times. I knew He would be there. Oh, the sign. The one that I kiss. The one that I kiss. And so the night came. The religious leaders had gathered a group. Some had clubs, some had billy sticks, some had torches, some had lanterns. And I led the way to the garden. And just like we planned, Jesus and His 11 weak-kneed disciples were there. This was perfect. And I stepped out. And Jesus said, "Would you betray me with a kiss?" Huh? Can you believe He said that? Would you betray me with a kiss? And I walked up to Him and I kissed Him on the cheek. And I held Him for a moment. And you're not going to believe what He said to me. He called me friend. Friend. How about fool, Jesus? How about imbecile? How about traitor? But He called me friend. And they seized Him, arrested Him, and took Him away. It was done. It was perfect. I already knew that they were going to release Barabbas, a known thief and robber, and I already knew their plan. I already knew they were going to crucify Jesus. I had my man and I had my money. It was done. So why do I feel like I do? Why do I feel like I do? I tried to give the money back. They wouldn't take it. They wouldn't listen. Why do I feel like I do? They won't listen. You've got to do something and do it now. Every day, every one of us is confronted with a choice. Will we choose Jesus or will we choose Satan? The Bible clearly says that Satan entered Judas's heart. And every day, you and I are confronted with the same choice. Millions choose Satan. We challenge you and challenge me to choose Jesus, the crucified and risen Lord Jesus. We challenge some of you this morning to make that choice, and it is a choice, a personal choice, for the very first time in your life, and to step out and profess faith. We call it conversion. You're coming to Jesus Christ for the first time. But we challenge every Christian in this room to take a stand this morning, because Satan wants you and he wants me. And too many of us are complacent and stagnant and weak-kneed. And we challenge every one of us today to make a choice and to choose Jesus Christ. We're going to sing Jesus Paid It All. He did. And we invite you to stand. We invite you to sing. But more than that, we invite you to step out from these chairs and make a choice. Come in profession of faith. Come in recommitment of your life. Come and kneel at this prayer bench. But do something. Do something for Jesus, and do it right now. Will you sing with us, please?